Hello everybody, welcome back to Life Stories. My name is Trent and I hope you're all doing awesome as always. Today, we got some more stories coming at you from Reddit/idontworkherelady. But that's enough with the introductions, you know how this goes by now. It's time to get started. Our first story is titled, It's the Law. I went into a grocery store wearing a black hoodie and purple sweatpants with my hair in a messy bun. To be honest, I looked like I just rolled out of bed. I'm in the canned soup aisle grabbing my regular stuff. An older lady, probably in her mid-60s, comes up to me. She shows me a slightly dented can and asks if she can get a discount. I respond, probably not. If the food inside isn't damaged, there's no reason for it. Is that the store's policy? The old lady asked. I don't know. I don't work here. She looks me up and down, but insists that I'm an employee. I tell her again that I'm not, and she grumbles and puts her dented can back on the shelf. I think that's the end of it, and I get the rest of what I need. I'm checking out and having a nice conversation with the cashier when the old lady points at me from about 15 feet away. I knew it! You do work here. I sigh and explain to the cashier. She thinks I work here and wants a discount on dented cans. Ma'am, we don't do that here, the cashier said. But it's damaged goods. You can't sell them at full price. It's the law. It's not the law, and it's not our policy. Take it or leave it. She demands the manager and I get out of there as fast as I can. Ugh, causing a scene over 10 or 20 cents off of a $1.50 can. Hey, as much as I am a supporter of the good old $1.50 soup can, because I survive off of those almost every single day of my life, 10 or 20 cents off, it's not a big deal. Don't make a huge scene, please, for the sake of everybody. It's just not worth it. Moving along from that story, our next story is titled, My Russian Friend vs. Karen. So, I currently work at a McDonald's, as I am an entitled young person. You'll figure out why I quoted that later. This McDonald's is across from a Walmart, and today I decided to take a shift for someone. A good solid 8-hour shift, actually. Anyway, after work, I decided to get some food for dinner and snacks for later at the Walmart. Everything is fine and dandy, and everyone seemed to be in a good mood. Since I just got out of work, I was still in my uniform. Both our McDonald's uniforms and Walmart uniforms use pretty much the same pants, or at least everyone in my Walmart uses the same pants as us at the McDonald's here. The pants are just some black basic pants that are made of polyester and some other materials, so they look nice. It was also a rainy day, so everyone was wearing sweaters and whatnot, because it wasn't ideal to go outside. After grabbing dinner and snacks, I leave the store to go meet a really close friend who was waiting to pick me up outside. I load the snacks into the back of the car, and my friend asked me if I got my cousin a birthday present, because it was his birthday yesterday. Unfortunately, I forgot, so I run in and grab a $50 Xbox gift card for him. Coming back out, I hear someone say, "Hey, you!" And even though it was rainy and windy, I could tell it was a snobby, directed tone. A Karen tone. I continue walking to the car, and at this point, I hear the click of her high heels and the voice again. Just a lot louder, and unfortunately, the voice got louder too. This Karen was behind me and calling for me. She gets right up in my face and in a really violent tone said, "Excuse me, you better put my card away, you little..." Insert the SH word here. I reply with a shy and quiet, I don't work here. This is mainly because I'm small and short and petite, and this absolute manager-calling unit of a Karen is yelling at me. I also don't have good social skills because I'm transgender and I'm self-conscious about it, so initially I thought she was one of those. The Karen blurbs out another, "Put my card away, Tiny!" Yeah, I know, I was called Tiny by a Karen. Thank God my friend was watching, because she got out of the car and was like, "She doesn't work at Walmart." The Karen scoffs and replies back, "He looks like he does. Besides, he's a young person. He can go put the card away." My friend is kind of overprotective of me, as well as pure, loud, no-balls Russian. My friend walked over to this Karen and was like, "He is a she, and she doesn't work here. She is also not your slave, regardless of its age or anything." My friend raises her voice way higher than this Karen, who's bickering on how hard it is to push a cart away. Ironic, I know. and screams out, "You better take your stupid, lousy, no good," series of expletives, I'm not putting swear words on here because I'm nice like that, "overprivileged self over to that cart and return it yourself, and you're going to put it there." The Karen just shut up and put her cart away. The Karen was about to open her mouth and say something, but my friend just screamed, "Idi nahuy," which means "go F yourself," or something like that in Russian. That was that. My friend told me that she was getting the last word in regardless. We drove off and went home to eat dinner and hang out. First off, OP, if you ever hear this story, or it gets brought to your attention, I want to thank you so much for being you. We don't need that kind of bigotry in the world. And also, to any potential Russian or Russian background listeners, I apologize for my pronunciation. I'm sure it's the absolute worst. Moving along to our next story, it's titled, "It's Halloween. This is a costume." So, I'm aware it's not currently Halloween, and that it's a few months away. But I remembered this while watching some storytime and r/videos, and thought it might be good for this sub. It doesn't end with anyone getting arrested, and it's actually kinda cute. Our cast is Miss Ambilia / Miss Old Lady, maybe 70 to 80 in the neighborhood. And me, currently 22, but 20 at the time of the incident. When I was 18, I was shopping around a secondhand store when I found it. A big orange apron with the logo of a popular hardware store on it. I was surprised, as I also saw my name on it, but I do have a fairly common name. The planets were aligned, and our fate was obvious, so I bought it and hung it in my closet. On to the story. Flash forward to when I'm 20, out of my parents' house and living in a frat house while I attend college. Halloween night was right around the corner, but I was planning on just staying at home by myself while the others went out. Right around this time, I was trying to scale down my storage as my room was getting a bit cluttered, tossing out old birthday cards, childhood toys, and the like, when I found it, the old apron. I had completely forgotten I'd packed it. I immediately knew I couldn't let this opportunity go to waste, so I hung it in my closet and waited for Halloween to come around. Halloween, circa 2017. I toss on a dress shirt and slacks I had for my business classes and tie the apron around my waist, then head out with my brothers, most of them already a bit drunk, to go trick-or-treating. It was the first time in years I had done it, so I was excited. We were scoring. Big candy, rare candies. I even got one of those Japanese candy kits. Our frat house was in a fairly wealthy suburban neighborhood by the school, mainly so it would fit all the different members. Soon enough, we make our way to Miss Amabilia's house. We all get a big chocolate bar. As we were walking away, Miss Amabilia called me over. I was confused, but in my mind, all I could think was, extra candy. Nope. Miss Amabilia said, "I'd hate to interrupt your night out, but do you think you could fix my sink? It's leaking a bit." "Huh?" I said. "Well, you work for the hardware store, so I just figured that you could." "Oh, no. I'm sorry, ma'am. This is just an apron I found at a secondhand store. You know, like Goodwill." "Oh, I'm sorry. I just figured since your name was on it." "Nope, just a lucky find," I said. "Well, have a great night, dear. Good hunting." And she smiled. I ran back to my frat brothers. One of them actually was working as a plumber to get himself through college, and he was sober. So I convinced him to help her out. She got her sink fixed, and we both got a couple extra chocolate bars as a thank you. It was a good night. I think I was probably about 14 when I stopped trick-or-treating, but if I knew that all it takes is learning a trade and you can get more free candy, I would have done it ages ago. Stupid me. And moving on to our next story, it's titled, "A Bunch of Karens, and I Immediately Took Revenge." So, this happened about 7 years ago. I was at a cafe with friends, and I was wearing a purple shirt, which looks similar to the one worn by the employees. So, on the adjacent table, there were a bunch of Karens who kept asking me to take their orders like every 5 minutes, and I told them every time that I didn't work there. Anyways, I got fed up quickly with them, and I was about to leave. So I went inside the restaurant and got some paper I found and got back to them. Pretended I'm taking their order on the paper I have. I then went inside and put the paper in the trash and left from another door. Friends who stayed at the restaurant after me said it took them half an hour to realize there isn't any order placed for them, and they had to order another time. I mean, hey, The prank was kind of mean-spirited, but you could make the argument that the Karens weren't listening and they might have had it coming. At least it wasn't a huge prank and no one got arrested. And with that story out of the way, we are out of time for today, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I want to thank you so much for tuning into Life Stories. You know how this works. My name is Trent. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for any Reddit content we got working coming your way so you don't miss it. I hope to see you guys soon.